which is probably nice.
A lot nice.
Not very well, but afterwards. So, we're going to be looking at dilations, and we're going to be looking at the scale factor. We're going to be finding scale factors. And a scale factor is how much the shape has changed. By what amount has the shape changed? So if we're going to go from the pre-image to the image in a dilation, each side of the image will equal the side of the pre-image times some new number n, and that new number n is the scale factor. So when you take your pre-image, you multiply it by n, that gets you your new image.
So you say like it times itself, kind of?
Well, it'll be times something. So if we're going to find what our scale factor is, what this n is, we're going to plug in the sides of the pre-image and then the image, and then we're just going to solve it into this little equation right here. So we're going to be using this equation pretty much the whole time today. So in this shape here, my pre-image is this black shape, and when we look at our scale factors, we just have to match up sides. So in this black trapezoid here, A, B, C, D, not trapezoid, quadrilateral, I have the right side, which means I need to look at the right side on my image. So to find out what my scale factor is, I'm going to take my pre-image multiplied by n, which is my scale factor, and it's going to equal my image, which is 4. And to find scale factor, it's pretty simple. We just have to solve it for n. And how do I get rid of this times 2?
Divide it.
Divide it.
By both sides.
We're just going to divide it by 2. And I'm going to get n equals 2. My scale factor, to go from my pre-image to my image, is 2. And when our scale factor is bigger than 1, that is, we would say, an enlargement. If it's bigger than 1, it's a, I don't know. There's a bunch of ways you could say. You can say enlargement, expansion.
It's bigger.
It's bigger. And we're going to look at the trapezoid over here on the right. Same type of idea, but this time my image, it's still this black shape, but it's the bigger one. So I have a bottom side on this, which means on my image I have to look at the bottom side. So it's going to be 8 times my scale factor, and it's going to equal 2. And just like before, to solve for my scale factor, I'm going to divide by 8 everywhere. And I'm just going to make space. I get n equals 2 divided by 8, which is 1 over 4, which is 0.25. My scale factor is 0.25. When your scale factor is less than 1, that's a reduction or a shrink. Or smaller. It's a smaller. So pretty simple. Hardest part is just making sure you have your distances on both pieces and make sure you match up the right sides.
Got him.
So let's look at this one right here. Actually, you guys can do this one. I want you to find the scale factor.
I hate these bad always grabbing my hair.
Wait, which one?
I don't think they really had that in mind.
Yeah, they
This one on
did.
triangle.
Today it ripped out so much of my hair and I almost started crying because it was so bad.
Dude, I hate it.
And keep in mind, your pre-image is the black triangle here. So I want you to find your scale factor as you go from the black triangle to the blue one.
Why'd we get this wrong?
Did I do this? Great. Or is it always by team?
I got it
You
wrong. Did I really?
This piece is 8, right? But isn't this whole right side? Isn't it from
12.
here to here? What are your eyes at me for? I'm helping you.
I don't know how to do this.
Why?
Because you sassed me.
Because I don't know how to do this.
Okay, remember, do that little formula thing we just had. The pre-image times n.
Thing.
Oh, that's right. You did kind of miss these. The pre-image is your first shape, which is the black one.
Okay.
What?
So it would be equals to it.
So, the black shape, which is 4, times n is going to equal the entire side of the blue triangle.
Okay.
Divide that by 4 too. So then, is this whole side X out then? Or?
What?
I don't know what you're saying.
So then that, and then it equals 2 equals
Ooh, this is all we're doing today. I'm happy.
divided by 4.
Wow, that's all.
Wow.
Cool. Yeah.
This should
I wonder
be,
how homework's gonna be. Bigger.
Probably all extra
Okay.
long.
So it'll be
Of course.
2 times n
If
equals.
it's a short lesson, it's gonna be extra long homework.
Or see, 4 times n equals 12. That should
In
be
every math, have you ever had?
because that's
Yeah,
just
there's no way. No, never mind.
Here?
Have you been to a math class when there was like less homework?
All right.
Less.
Alright,
less
let's go with this
notes,
one.
But and at the same time. less
Trista,
homework?
what's our formula gonna look like?
Every math class.
No,
At least one math class.
Equals 12.
Every math class is different. No, this one I'm pretty.
4
pretty
times
sure we just
n
have
equals
more
12.
math, More homework.
So 4 is my pre-image. That's a little piece right here. And you got to be careful. We need the entire kind of bottom right side of this triangle. My bottom right side is not just 8 right here. It is the entire thing, which is 12. So watch out. That one was a little sneaky.
Sneaky.
It was. It sneaked me out pretty good.
Sneaky.
And then we go through and solve it by dividing by 4. And we get n equals 3.
Ian?
Oh, like the whole side. Oh,
Mhm.
that's
So you got to be careful because
yeah.
even though this piece is 8, I also need this other little piece of 4 right there.
My
We
bad,
put
I
them both
messed
together.
this up. That was on me.
Alright.
My bad.
So we are still doing the same process. Nothing's really changed, except this time around.
It's going
Do you
straight
see any
good.
numbers on these? Quadrilaterals?
No.
Yeah,
see numbers.
I do.
Nope.
I see
But
numbers.
we can find them
Me and
ourselves.
Ryan are both like,
Yeah,
we see numbers.
Yeah, we see numbers.
You've got some
Yeah.
problems then, because there's no. I mean, there's.
I was gonna say you got some problems.
Those are numbers.
They're on the graphs, but they're not on like the actual lengths of
Be
these
specific
sides.
then, please.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, be specificer.
You're bouncing. You're
Be specific.
For that.
That was a good one, Les.
Specific.
That's what I
I'll
said.
try. I'll try hard. Alright, so we're gonna do the same process, but before we can do that, we need to actually find some sides.
Wait.
So- What?
Are we gonna do like the thing that we did before?
Like the distance formula?
Yeah.
You could, but let's make it easy. What would be an easy side to find the distance of?
That's not
LK.
KL.
Okay, would be really easy, because it's straight up and down, right? So I could do distance formula, or I could just be lazy and count it and still get the same answer.
4.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. My pre-image has a 4.
2.
That's the blue one?
Yeah.
It's 2.
Two.
Yeah. The blue one, I want to keep the same sides. If I'm going to do this right side, I have to do this right side. That one is 2.
Wait,
So,
question.
yes.
Do you only have to have one side?
Because when you dilate, you have the same proportion everywhere. So you just pick one. Because it won't matter which one you pick, it's always going to have the same scale factor.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Always the same scale.
I have a
Same
question.
scale factor. Yes, Chloe.
On our homework, is it gonna be like this too, so you don't have to like count like your distance?
Probably. If not, we'll find out.
You did it all.
And remember, so it's not like it's hard to find like this one right here, because if you need to find this length right here, for example,
Just go up.
you just go up and then over, and you turn it into a triangle and use Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Solve it for c. And then you do the same thing over here.
That's pretty smart. I wonder who thought of that.
Some old freak guy. Not me, unfortunately. I'm not that smart. Okay, we gotta go through and finish this off.
You're
So,
not that Greek either.
that's good. That's good, Tiana. Keep that up. Okay,
No
we need to finish
passes,
this.
guys. No wonder she passes.
So we're gonna set up our pre-image times our scale factor, which we're gonna call n, is gonna equal our image. So our pre-image is 4 times our scale factor is n, and it's gonna equal our image, which is 2. And then we just have to go through and solve it by divide by 4. Divide by 4. And get n equals 0.5, 1/2,
Yeah.
0.50, I guess. You wanna add that extra 0 in there?
What is that kind of? What is that 5? It looks like an S. Is that an S or a 5?
When I'm tired, I get
0.5.
funny.
Is that 5?
Yeah.
5. I'm positive.
And that's it. Our scale factor is 0.5.
Oh my god.
That's the lesson, huh?
Well, you're gonna try one now.
Just one mess.
Oh yeah. All right.
Messing
let's
around.
do.
You guys have the same.
Everything.
What?
I'm getting really tired.
Well, good thing we're almost
I'm
done.
really
All right, I want you guys
At
to
least today I'm
do.
not falling asleep in class.
True.
So.
I want you to find the scale factor on the triangles. And remember, the black shape is your pre-image, the blue one is your image.
Oh, that's no fair. The A is like a half. That's 6.5. Oh, it's going that way. Okay, I should do that one.
Wait, which one are we trying to find? Big one?
Triangles. Yep. What's the scale factor as you go from the pre-image in the black to the image in blue? I hope nobody's colorblind. I'm sorry if you are.
Huh?
Honestly, that would suck if you'd be saying like black and blue this whole time and they didn't know what they were doing. Oh, that's why you've been getting those questions wrong.
What do you mean by coloring?
That'd be kind of funny, but suck
You
at
can't
the
even
same
tell
time.
on the paper
Can't do
anyways.
I know.
Oh yeah, that's
Actually,
that factor.
Well, not
That's
on this
true.
paper.
Why
but
do you
on
need
other
the
papers.
well, you can see
the
that
color
little,
printer?
Because that costs a lot more money to print and
Like
color.
$1.25.
Oh, you live on a teacher.
$1.50.
They use ink
$1.50.
printers.
What?
Laser.
I'm Elena.
Hi, Kylie.
Hi,
Elena.
Bye, Elena.
Hi. Literally everyone said it.
Hi, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye,
Bye,
Elena.
Felicia.
You guys are weird.
Remember when the guy said that at the haunted house?
Oh, yeah.
He's all like, "This is my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Her name's Felicia." Said everybody say bye, Felicia.
She's all, what'd she say? She's all, you're a big boy, or something like that.
You're a big boy.
I
guys
want
are
to feel
weird.
so much too bad.
I don't want to. I don't want to know.
I bet you do, Goki.
No, I don't. I really don't.
With a 2x4, that's hard.
Goki, I don't have any clue what I'm doing.
When we went through Hillbilly House.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go over it, Lark.
Oh, that gave me
Okay,
goosebumps.
we need to find our sides, right?
Here's
Which would be the easiest side to find on the triangles? Do you want to do the left, the right, or the bottom?
Is it always times
Right?
4?
I don't know.
Bottom. Bottom's easier.
Can you find this distance easy? I mean, we could do the Pythagorean theorem thing, right? But do you want to?
That's like 6.5.
What?
Oh, I could just do the bottom.
You could just do the bottom one, right? All right. So Tiana, what's the length on our pre-image?
Look at that. The bottom's easier because it's a solid number, except for the
Yeah.
side. The side's like
Yeah.
6.5.
Yep, 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Trista, what's the length on our
Nine.
image?
I know.
9. Yep, and then the whole thing is 9, right?
That was funny.
Kylie, what's our equation going to look like?
4 times n equals 9.
No, what
4
Wait, the
times.
blue one's the image?
Yes.
The 7 divided by 3.
So we're going to go 4 times n equals 9.
Do you want us
Divide
to
it
round
by
to the
4.
nearest 10?
Yeah, 100.
Hello.
Give me 2 decimals.
Okay.
2 decimals. So we divide by 4 and we get n equals what, Joseph?
4.5.
What?
1 plus 3.
What?
15.
2.25.
What did you say?
2.25. 2.25.
What did you say?
9 divided by 4.
Oh, 2.5.
2.25.
2.25. Okay,
Did you
I heard
do
like a
4.5?
4.5 or something. I was
I
confused.
was like,
Alright, scale factor 2.25.
did you round it up?
Yeah, pretty.
How's that pretty good? I thought.
I did another
We
side.
want
I
to do
did
the other one.
I did the left side.
I already did it.
I did.
Well, fine. What's our formula, Trista?
7 times n equals 3.
N equals 3. Kylie, what do you get for your final answer?
And then you get 0.43.
My stupid sock keeps getting better.
Alright, good enough. That's it.
No, except for here.
Yep.
I got 2.3.
You mean small
I think you
sock?
accidentally put the,
But then we'll
you
get
flipped
one
the
by
top and the bottom around on the divide. You should have done 3 divided by 7, and I think you accidentally did 7 divided
You
by
know,
3.
you're right. That's exactly what I did.
Happens. It happens. Little mistake, Mark. No biggie. Alright, that's it. Do your exit ticket. I'll turn on Scrative, and I will print off your homework.